Hello, I'm Bree. I'm 25 years old. I just moved out to LA, originally from Chicago. Moved out here with my wonderful boyfriend who's taking this video, Matt,
Hello.
and my cat, Tommy,
Tommy.
and there's Stanley Cup.
Hi, Stanley.
So, in front of you, this is my table of everything that I've been working on. I'm an RN, and I actually came out here with Matt and my little kitty and my little puppy, and just our two cars. We moved out here in search of to find what I'm supposed to do. And I've really got involved in homeopathic and different alternative practices. Here are some of the things. These are some of the books that have kind of inspired this. My Imperfect Toolkit, something that I actually created. My optimistic way of thinking in the morning. I take a look at different things in here. I have just different things out here. My nursing drug book, all kinds of things. So the first thing I really want to go over is my formula that I've created that I call Rebel Nurse Wellness Formula. A little history behind Rebel Nurse Wellness. I created this Facebook page, actually, Rebel Nurse Wellness, after I had an experience working in the hospital and the home care setting back in Chicago and saw how bad the medication errors were. And I felt very misheard when I would try to speak and say, you know, I'm seeing these issues in multiple patients, my older patients especially, and I began doing my own self-studies and research and actually alternative natural properties. I started on myself with my eczema, my dry skin, and that's what I'll talk about next with this. So, let me kind of show you the consistency of this. So here's a little sample of it. And what I do is I take it, you can see the consistency. I'll put it on any kind of like flare up. So, you know, I used to have, you can tell I have some scars right there, but this has actually really helped with, you know, taking the scar away. There's an itching component, and it's really nice. I used to have really bad eczema on my legs, so every night when I first made this formula, I'd put it on my legs, I'd lather it up, I'd put plastic wrap around my legs, and I'd do that for the night. I'd wake up, and I didn't wake up itching in the night, and in the morning my legs were actually, they felt great, and they looked great. So I'm going to show you how I made it. Here's my instructions, and I actually got the idea of, I've been studying different remedies and herbs. A few of the oils or remedies I'm going to talk about came from different people that I've spoke to. One person being a man, a little Oriental man I met at the dog park down in Encino, who told me about neem oil, and so that's kind of how I've gathered my products. I've been cooking with using curries and turmeric, spices, different spices from like Eastern, from India and different cultures, so I've actually incorporated some of those spices into it as well with the properties I'll talk to you about. So, let me start by talking about the first ingredient, and that's going to be your virgin cold-pressed coconut oil. This is high in fatty acids. It's resistant to many viruses and bacteria that cause illness. Helps fight off yeast, fungus, and Candida. And so the reason that this is my base is because there's components of eczema that have, you know, there could be, if there's something to do with a fungus or a yeast on your skin that's the cause of the skin condition, you know, this is resistant to that, so that's great. Also, it has antioxidant properties. It's rich in vitamin E, which is, as we know, great for the skin. It reduces the absorption of toxins through your skin, so that's why I absolutely love this ingredient. And it's very thick, so it's great when you're applying it to the skin. You can see how thick this really is. This is great. I actually use this in cooking. I'll use it as a substitute for butters, different oils. Very rich in those fatty acids that are great. So I'm going to just make a little bit of it. So there's my big base of the coconut oil. I also add a little olive oil. Actually, I went to a dermatologist when I was younger, and this was something that, after trying so many different things, he did say a lot of his patients, you know, they actually try olive oil because of its fatty acid properties as well, but it was never just alone good enough for me. So, but I do add a little bit of this into my mixture. So I'll do just a little bit here. You can see I did just a very little bit because you already have the coconut oil, and there's a lot of oils that go into this. So there's that. The next one is my neem oil. This was what I was introducing you. I met this really neat Oriental man when I was at the dog park, Matt and I actually, and he came up to me with his dog Angel saying, you know, as we know, animals have a perception with people, and I'm supposed to come talk to you. And you know, after talking, we found out he's a healer. He knows these different herbs and different remedies that he's brought from his culture, and we started talking about neem oil. I got home and I went and researched it right away. Neem oil, or Azadirachta indica, that's its other name. It's a super herb, they call it in India. It has antiviral, antifungal, antiparasitic, antiseptic qualities. So again, similar to some of the things I was talking about, fights bacteria without causing bacterial resistance over time. Furthermore, it has anti-cancer properties, and this is being studied over in India. Not here yet, but it's being studied over there. So over there it's being studied largely in terms of its preventative, protective, tumor suppressive properties. With going along with the cancer, it has immunomodulatory and apoptotic effects against various types of cancer and their molecular mechanisms. So this is really exciting. The preparation using foliar extracts of this plant are applied as a pancha for skin problems such as eczema, ringworm, acne, and topical cancer, melanoma. This was actually part of an ingredient in Renee Case, the nurse that came up with Essiac, that cancer formulary back in the day. So pretty exciting how that came back into my life. So this is a thick oil, and it has quite a pungent smell to it. It kind of reminds me of something my grandmother used to cook with in her matzo ball soup. I wish you could smell it, but it's very thick. Matt can smell it when I put it on. Can't you, Matt?
Yeah.
So it's, like I said, it's very thick. I use the stopper, and I kind of just, I'm not going to put too much into it because, again, it's very thick. Whew, it's got a smell to it. So I just have it on the spoon there. So there's the neem oil. Okay, the next is the tamanu oil. This is another remedy that's found up more in Eastern cultures. The tamanu oil, this promotes skin rejuvenation, provides soothing, moisturization, anti-aging properties, strengthens immune system, scar prevention and reduction. I'm using this mostly for the rejuvenation because the eczema really aged my skin. It kind of caused that weathered effect, and so this is helping to moisturize and to help it's more of a preventative measure I'm using with this. Another very pungent odor that Matt always knows when I'm using it.
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. So I put a little in there. It's that dark green, kind of that puke color. Let me get my cloth. This gets a little oily and messy. Okay, the next I do is my aloe vera. This is a pure aloe. Unscented. I try to stay away from fragrances and scents just because my skin is more sensitive. The eczema, I have sensitive skin, so I make sure it's all unscented. So I put a little bit in there. So the aloe vera has softening properties, again, that moisturizing. It's an ingredient in many skin and beauty products, such as cleansers, moisturizers, and soaps. It's mostly used for skin conditions. I'm sure most people use it for like skin burns. It also has an analgesic effect, that soothing, that mint. There's some evidence to support its use for minor skin problems and burns. Some people with cancer use aloe vera to help heal and soothe burns caused by radiation. Although research evidence does not currently show that aloe vera can help with burns caused by radiotherapy treatment, many patients say that it does help to heal and soothe the skin, just like after a sunburn. So aloe vera can help to soften skin around wounds and prevent dryness as they heal. Tommy's he's used this when he's been hurt before, and I've used it on little Stanley there too. So just the aloe vera itself. The next one is my tea tree oil, or my melaleuca. This is the melaleuca. And then this is the tea tree oil. It's very similar. A lot of people actually use them synonymous. Some of the tea tree oils have a little more. Let's see what this one has. This one's just basically